Hopefully everything goes well.
It is go time for Monster Monday. Sit back and get ready to enjoy a live show. Comment any questions, see what's up in our world of epic, and hear what we have in store. Welcome to Monster Monday.
Yay!
Yeah, that video only gives them 20 seconds. So welcome to Monster Monday. I was hoping for the other video so we'd have a minute so I could finish my drink. I didn't make it with a 20-second video.
No.
I'm out of the woods. I am not in my office, so I'm super, super happy to be on my way home. I got like 5 hours to go, and I'll be home. So I'll get there tonight at some time. So I'll be all good. So I want to thank you guys for covering for me the last 2 weeks. It's been a little crazy. I left on Halloween, and that seems like forever ago, you know. And then to sit somewhere where you don't have phone service it sounds so relaxing. It's stressful as hell. I got a lot of shit going on in my life. I need some time on some social media networks and my emails and everything else. And it used to be my phone would work in a couple places. And this year I found one hill. All of a sudden it just had 3 bars. So I sat down and I made a post, and I thought, well, I'm going to sit here for an hour if I can get some stuff done. And my buddy came up, we're going to have lunch, and then the damn thing worked. Like right after I posted that, I put a post up, and all of a sudden I'm sitting on the same hill in the same spot, and 5 minutes later it's 1 bar. All I could receive a text, but I couldn't send anything. And I was like, oh man. So it was just a little frustrating. But how was your last couple of weeks been?
It's been okay. Still working on the garage and getting ready for winter.
I was kind of thinking that there might be a unveiling video or something tonight, but not yet. No, they can't. It's got to be getting close to being wrapped up, right?
Well, it's getting there, but we still got electrical and heating, and they're working on the inside now. But.
Is the garage doors on it?
No.
Oh yeah. You need garage doors pretty quick. It's the middle of November, and did you get any snow? Did you get any snow at home?
No, it snowed one day here, but nothing that really stayed on the ground. But it's been a while ago. It hasn't been bad.
It snowed a couple inches up at the cabin, but it was gone by whatever day was super warm. It melted off. Whatever, there was one day that it was like 70 in the cities. It was like 50. It was like 50 degrees up there. So
it was like 60 here.
Yeah, that's crazy for this time of year to be 60 degrees. When I was a kid, we used to walk across the river this time of year. So I don't know, pretty nuts. But I don't know. I missed so much. I think I could do a special show on just let's catch Riot up.
Catch Riot. Yep.
Because I don't think I could, if I went out of my way to pick a worse time to be gone, I don't think I could manage it. Like that was like so much epic shit happening, and I'm not at any of it. I felt like it was like an outer body experience. Like I was like, because I couldn't communicate with people, so I just felt like I was hovering over, looking at, like almost like when you're in the afterlife or something. I could look down and catch little bits of it, but I'm not a part of it. I left and Toons was going to Dollywood, so I missed all that. And then Turbo and the Goat go to Buffalo with Alan and Iceman and the moms, and it looked like they had a great time. But I'm still getting caught up on that. That's how far back I am. And then it rolls right from that into Elfie and Turbo going to California, and I felt really bad about Turbo not being able to enjoy it all because he had that infection in his port, and so I felt bad about that. But I was super happy that he got the football game the week before, and it wasn't, just a devastating loss to go to the hospital. So that was really epic and really cool. And then to see Elfie on stage with Gene Simmons was I got to be honest, man. I put a tear in my eye while I was sitting on a hill, and Amy had sent me the video, and I couldn't see the video, but then I got some pictures from different people, just like some were screenshots, some were just pictures they took while they were there, and there was a bunch of monsters there to capture the moment. Of course, Frankie Mountains, does such a kick-ass job getting pictures and turning it into things. So I just saw one of those today, and it was just one of those things that's almost too cool to put into words.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know how to describe something so cool. I can't even imagine being 13 years old and you have your idol who you've been singing along to, for as long as you can remember, and then you get to meet him. Like I met Hank Williams Jr. when I was an adult. I mean, it was a long time ago, but I was an adult. I wasn't a kid. And I was like starstruck by meeting Hank Williams Jr. in his tour bus. And I was not like, I forgot to take a picture. That was before cell phones, but I had a camera in my pocket. I forgot to take a damn picture with him. I did get an autograph from a picture I stole out of his bus and then had him sign it. So we did laugh about that. But, I didn't think of anything. And then here's Elfie sings with the lead singer of Kiss, one of if not the most famous rock band. It says my truck's going to shut off in 28 seconds. I guess I better shift it or do something. I've been sitting here so long, these new trucks. Anyways, so here's Elfie. He's with his idol on stage and has such composure. He can sing the songs and just, I don't know. It was just next level amazing. I'm going to do an interview with Elfie this week or the weekend, and I'll post that when I get it done. But it was as amazing a thing as the Monsters have ever done. It was like I told you, like Gavin's movie and now Elfie's singing with Gene Simmons are just so amazing. I can't even like put it into words proper, and it's just beyond epic, and it makes everything we do and all of the risk we take doing crazy rides, all of the people doing these rides for the certificates, all the work that Brandy and Wrong Way are doing, and the crazy ladies riding every day. It just rolls all of that into one big happy goddamn ball of joy and drop it, and it puts Elfie on the stage, and without all of that happening, the trips like that, because that came up quick. That wasn't a let's plan for this for a year. I mean, that came up quick. We were at the Bash and we talked about, this love ride happening, and Gene Simmons was signed on, and let's see if we make that happen. And then Brian Ridgway told me that he thinks he can get it where he can meet him. And I said, if you can do that for sure, man, we'll get him tickets. We'll get him over there. We'll have him there, the hotel, the van, spending money, whatever they need, we'll have them there to do that. So when he hit me up and said, we can get him to meet him for sure. We booked the tickets, and it just killed me that I couldn't be there. But this is November. For anybody that's known me for a while, I don't ride motorcycle in November. November is family month, and I don't do a lot outside of family. And I had 10 people coming to our cabin, family traveling from Florida, Ohio, Jersey, another one from Florida, all over Mississippi, Minnesota. All of my family is coming together at the same place, and I just couldn't bail on it or cancel it or change it. I just couldn't do it. So I had to stick with my put family first, I guess. And I did that. And I tell you what, it was all I could do to not be there. It just tore me apart not to be there for that. And Big Daddy was, and he did a great job. Elfie loves Big Daddy too, so it was great that he could be there because they got a special bond, and it just made it really enjoyable. So from your point of view, it had to be pretty awesome to watch that all weekend, right?
Oh, it was incredible. It was like not real.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
When Gene Simmons is on stage and he steps back so Elfie can be the lead singer of that.
Yeah.
And he steps back and he looks down and smiles at him. I mean, that is just I get choked up now thinking about
Yeah,
how cool
me
that is.
too.
I can't even imagine the joy of a kid's the joy in that kid's heart when he's standing on stage singing to thousands of bikers cheering for him. I mean,
Yeah,
he's off the stage and there's thousands of people cheering for Elfie to come back on.
yeah.
You know, that's so epic. And like Dylan said before the show here, it's amazing because Kiss has been famous my whole life. Like as long as I can remember, Kiss has been the band, you know, Lunch Pails and all of it. It was never Kiss was never my jam. You know, I there's a handful of songs, 5, 6 songs I really like a Kiss, but I never saw them in concert. And um, but they've been around forever. And I think of how many people Gene Simmons has met over those years. And like Dylan was saying, like, you would think at that time he would just be like, "Hey, Alfie, it's nice to meet you. You know, thanks for coming to the show. You know, take a picture and be done." And that
Yep.
would have been it. You know, he's met 500,000 people, maybe a million. I have no idea. But for somebody to be in the business that long, that famous, and take that kind of you know, to show the love to a kid like that is just
Yeah, it's
so
incredible.
so cool, you know, and it says a lot for his character and his you know, just way about him. And I see why he's so famous. You know, I
Yeah,
can see why people adore Kiss and just love it. The music's great and he's a great dude, you know. You can't deny the guy's great. He's got everything in
oh
life
yeah,
you could ever want. He doesn't need to give anything other than be polite, you know, that's basic nature, but he went above and beyond, and I thought that was really cool. And the other thing I thought was really cool is all of the booze fighters that were out there. Um, for anybody who happened to watch that doesn't know, you know, most everybody knows I was in the Boost Fighters motorcycle club for a long time, and I know a lot of those guys, but some of them I haven't talked to in a while. And like Robert Patrick, you know, is a member of the club, and he went above and beyond as well, and like doing live videos to give some shout out to Turbo with
yeah,
other actors and other famous people. I just thought that was really cool because they don't have to do that. You know, they don't have to do that, and you know, they didn't have to show anything. I can't even read that, so I don't. I'm on my phone here, so whatever popped up, I can't see it. But anyhow, uh, so it was really cool that he did that, and I reached out to him and talked to him. Whatever day I went to a hill where I could text, and so I sent him a couple messages, and we went back and forth about it, and I just thanked him for that. You know, making the boys feel so special and making it so epic. So what a time. If anybody hasn't checked it out, man, go to our Facebook group and just scroll back and look at some of the epic things that have happened in the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever it's been. It's
yeah.
been
It's been
if
crazy.
that if all we have done all year was the bash, send tunes to Dollywood and the kids the football game and then the Gene Simmons thing, that would be an epic year. Like I would
Mhm.
think that's a hell of a year. What happened with that? So when you combine everything else, it's just like, damn, it's really something. So it just goes to show you that what hearts bikers really have, you know, and how cool it is. So thanks for covering for me while I was gone. I felt really bad. I was trying to figure out if there was any way I could get cell service on last Monday, and I just couldn't do it. So I was like, I could get cell service, but not enough to do anything like this. You know, I couldn't. Maybe at best I could maybe find a place to make a phone call, and that's it. So
Right.
so that was really cool, and I'm really proud of all of the monsters that stepped up and made that such an epic November. I mean, that is from the football, Iceman and Alan. You know, I thank both you guys for joining the moms at a football game. And you know, Iceman's from Texas, but I don't know how, but he's not a football fan. And I don't know if he's ever been to a football game before, a pro game anyhow. I didn't know that you could live in Texas and not be a football fan. So I don't know exactly how that happened, but he still went and made it way better. And when you have the boys at something like that, it's so nice to have a couple of a couple monsters there just to help out with the basic stuff, moving things around or doing things or, making it fun. Nobody's going to hassle. No, you can do pretty much anything you want. There are no rules when you have a couple of kids in their chair and a couple of big dudes that are just doing whatever you want. Like, it's like opens doors that you wouldn't typically have open because nobody wants to hassle anybody their size, and nobody's gonna hassle Iceman who's his size. And then you got Gavin and Turbo strolling around in their chairs, and so it's like everybody who might want to say something just says, you know what, we'll just
we'll just let it slide.
Yeah, because Gavin told me he took a leak in front of 800 people or something like that, and I got the message, and all I said to him was like, "You're a biker, dude. The normal rules don't apply. So just do whatever you want. And you're a guy. The world is your toilet. So who cares?" So I did laugh at that, and so that was pretty good. So that's all I got. I'm driving home. I've been driving all day. I left Minnesota at 4 this morning, and I got another 5 hours to go. So it's a little draining. And I tell you what, I am so sore. All I did was hike, drag things, cut trees down. It's like, man, I am way too out of shape to be a lumberjack. I'm like cutting trees with an axe, and my hands were sore. And it's like today's the first day I haven't really been moving around a lot. So I get out of the truck and I'm like an old man. That takes me like 4 steps before I can stand up straight. I'm like, I feel like I need a cane. If I'd have had one more day in the woods, I wouldn't be able to stand up. So that was kind of funny. So it's all good. I'm anxious to get home, and I'm anxious to get caught up on everything. So anybody that is waiting on anything to get mailed, merch or anything like that, I'm going to go through that probably on Wednesday or Thursday and get caught up. And I just have a gazillion things to do to get caught up when you're gone I was gone for 16 days, but I was still getting caught up from Gavin's after the Goats Jesus tour. So I was like, all I would really spend all my time doing is getting ready for this family trip. So 4-wheelers, I got a trailer behind me loaded with 4-wheelers and chainsaws and guns and all kinds of crap. So that's all I've been doing. So I'm a little behind on my monster work. So I'm gonna get better at that, and I'll get caught up on that and call it a day. So before Thanksgiving, when I have to head out of town again. I said what's that comment say right there? Hurry home.
She says she misses you and hurry home. She says, sounds like Hopper's rally went cool.
Oh yeah, that was I talked to Twister today, and she said it went really good, and Nicole won it. I didn't talk to Hopper yet, but it looked pretty cool. Looked awesome, and looked like everybody had a lot of fun. I think there was like 70 people that were in it, and Nicole won it. And if anybody doesn't know who Nicole is, she's the one that won the Iron Butt Rally, and she is just a tiny little thing that I could literally throw across the room, but she is a beast on a motorcycle. So, and I love it too, because I've said it 1,000 times. I just love when girls are a savage on bikes. I just love it because for whatever reason, the average Joe can't fathom the idea that girls can ride like that. So, there are people riding with us at the Jesus tour, and there's a couple days that, we had to get on it pretty good. And people are like, man, and everybody rides so fast and so good. You got girls that ride in amazing. And I was like, to me, it's like old. I've been riding with girls that can ride, for a few years now. So it's not anything that I'm like, oh, look at that, she can ride. Now I'm just like, now I'm kind of like, all these monsters that show up to ride, I just assume they want to ride at 100 miles an hour. I don't know that. Somebody's like, I never rid that fast. I was like, oh, my bad. I thought everybody rode like that. Somebody did send me a screenshot of how fast we were going on their Rever, because I was just going to Houston and I wasn't paying attention to how fast we were going. And evidently I was just a shade north of the speed limit by a fair good number. So that was kind of fun. But anyhow, that's that. I'll let you pound through the news, and I'll tap in when I need to, and we'll be good to go. And I hit the road and get home in 5 more hours.
Well, you had your Red Bulls. There is that.
Yeah, I know. And I haven't been drinking Red Bull for a long time. And we had some at the cabin that the kid left there. So I threw it in the truck and I thought, in case of emergency, break into the Red Bull. Well, I was dog ass tired before the show started. I'm like, I got a show and I got 5 hours. So we're going to Red Bull it up. And if this doesn't work, there'll be another Red Bull going in shortly thereafter. And if I have to, I'll tap it into the IV system and just drain it right in. Like the old days. That did me a lot of good. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I think
Never
you were
good.
told not to drink them, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and I maybe while you do the news, I'll go back to my trailer and open the cooler up because I brought Top the Tater home. And if anybody doesn't know what Top the Tater is, you're missing just we got potato chips
Oh, you're all set.
and Top the Tater. And Top the Tater is like God's gift to potato chips, and they don't have it all over the country. And people are like, oh, you can make your own. I'm like, yeah, I can make my own lots of things, but it doesn't taste as good as the real stuff. So I got a bunch of Top the Tater, and I'm bringing that home. And the wife is like, you know, at the gym and doing all that stuff, and I'm gonna come strolling with potato chips and Top the Tater and be like, honey, I'm home. Time to fatten you up for winter. All right, sorry, I keep rambling on.
You're fine. You haven't been on in a while. You got a lot to say.
I know. I miss, and I spent like it was 9 days of hunting and 7 days of working in the woods. But the vast majority of that time you spend alone. You know, I go to the cabin. There's a bunch of people there, but that's only a couple hours. Then you're in bed. You know, so I'm not cut out for a lot of alone time. I need my wife to put out my soul fire. So I gotta have her to keep me calm. Otherwise, when I'm away from my wife, I just gradually get more irritable and more irritable and more irritable until nobody wants to be around me and I want to throw everybody out the window. And then I spend a half hour with her and I just whoop right back down, soul fires out, and I'm back to being nice Riot. So I gotta you know, maybe fly her out. If I'm be gone that long, I gotta fly her out. I can't read that, so I'm sure it's good though.
You don't need to.
This little screen is so small. I'm so used to my computer, I can see it, but it's like everything's tiny. So I can barely see you, let alone any writing. I don't know. And I got my cheaters on, but I think I need to up a little bit power because I don't know. But I feel like if I keep upping the power, by the time I'm 90, I'm gonna have like 2-inch thick Coke bottle, like 10 power magnifying glasses on my head. I was like, my dad's 80 and he uses a 1.75 and I use a 2. I use a 2 and he goes and he puts them on. He's like, oh, these are much stronger than mine. I'm like, what? Like you're clearly old enough to be my father. How can that be?
That's funny.
So anyhow, all right, I'm gonna shut up now for sure. I'll let you go. Dylan can just mute me. All right.
You wouldn't do that.
You might have to.
Oh boy. Crazy ladies are on day 321. Way to go.
Oh, I gotta say one thing about the crazy ladies that I missed that too. That's another level of epic shit. When Rolo crashes, totals her bike, and gets on a goddamn scooter.
I know.
Absolutely amazing. I love that girl. She is wound like a top, and she just makes me laugh all the time. Like she doesn't stop. There's something. She's just straight up amazing. And so Denise is out riding, putting videos all the time, but she didn't throw her bike in the ditch, so it's not nearly as impressive.
No.
But Rolo getting a scooter, and I don't know, is she on a bike now? She's
on her other bike. She has that older road glide. So
yeah.
I couldn't think of what it was. Yeah. So she's crushing the miles. They both are.
It's hard to ride. It's hard to ride after you crash. Like
she had stitches in her hands and
yeah, that's what I mean. It's just hard to do, man. Like anybody who's ridden a lot, and especially anybody who races or does anything like that, you know, you're going to have to do it at some point, but it's not easy. So I got a lot of respect for her. You know, she's a beast of a rider anyhow, but you know, I got a lot of respect for picking yourself up off the ground and brushing the mud and dirt off and then getting on that bike. So Rolo, I love you. I'm mad impressed. You got crazy ass skills, and I look forward to the end of the year so you can just chill out.
Yeah.
So now I'll let you go. Sorry.
Awesome. Okay, on to the boys. I don't have a ton of news, but of course, Alfie is finally getting back to normal, on track, normal life, but still can't believe what happened. And he wants to be back on stage.
Yeah, no kidding.
He wants
It's like whatever you do anything epic, then that becomes the normal. Like, oh look, now I want to do this and that. I hope to get him back. Next year's the 35th anniversary. If Gene Simmons is going back, I think we gotta have a one hell of a monster party out there and call it good.
That sounds awesome.
And it was on the new. It was on the news too, and it was they did a really cool news thing with him.
Yep, I was going to say that. They did an interview and talked about his moment on stage, and so, you know, he's already famous, but then they went and put him on TV. And yeah, it was pretty awesome. They did interviews with the family, and you couldn't understand mom and dad. They were so excited, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're like 70s TV where it just doesn't have a very good signal, and you kind of like get garbly words.
Exactly.
But it was that was really cool though that he was on the news, because I thought people that might not believe him could watch the news at home, like other kids and things like that. You know, like
exactly, like
you know,
he did. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope that was the case.
Paula mentioned, and I didn't realize where they were going, that Rolo and Trip were on their way to California. I knew they were on a little adventure, but I didn't know where they were going. So they're on their way to California. So
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Complete savages.
Yeah. Okay, on to Mr. Turbo. He's doing good. He's resting and laying low. His port's back to normal. And they watched the football game yesterday, and both he and mom were yelling the entire game. Imagine. And tomorrow they're expecting some visitors to show up. So he's hoping to get out and do a little lunch date if he's feeling up to it. And they want to be sure and thank. Yeah, that'll be nice. They want to be sure and thank everybody for the prayers and messages. Turbo really appreciated all the nice words that when everybody reached out to him.
It's scary when that stuff happens.
Oh, for sure.
You know, infections are no joke, and when you have a compromised system, you know, it's scary. So I was worried. So I was getting some updates from Frosty, and I was happy that to hear that it was moving good in the right direction, you know. So that was, but at first that was scary, and I knew it was serious when he left that love ride. He's not going to leave that unless he's, you know, got an issue.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And Brody had a good weekend. He spent with Nana, so that was a good time for him. But then yesterday, they did end up having to take him to a walk-in clinic, and they found out he has croup. I guess he sounded really awful, you know, his coughing and everything. But he is on antibiotics now, so that'll help with that.
How old do people get that? Like, I don't know. Like,
no, I don't
remember
know.
my kids having it, but I thought they were little. I thought that was something that just little.
I thought just babies got that, but I'm not really sure.
Evidently it goes up for a while, you know. I didn't know how long it went.
Yeah, but so I want to. He was feeling pretty weak in that too. So prayers and quick healing for Brody. Get feeling better and get back in yourself.
Yeah, I got to talk to Brody this week too. I got some things I was working on for him, so I'm gonna reach out to mom and get with them and get some things organized. So that'll be good.
Yeah, that'll be good. Mr. Jackson, he started his new steroids last week, and they've been going really well. They haven't noticed anything negative, and so they're not sure how long it takes for his mood to change if it will. But it's not any worse, so they said that's a plus. And then the other thing he had going on was they went to an indoor pool party this weekend for one of their friends from daycare. And they had a pretty good time at the pool party.
Awesome. I hope the drugs work out good for him. And, it's just it's such a shame when that happens, when drugs have the side effect of the drugs is just awful. And then you got stuck with, do I do this or I don't do it? And it's like choices that parents have to go through are pretty rough.
Mr. Gavin, they went down to the Alamo and someone was able to sweet talk his way into coin number 28. I don't know if you heard. Several people have been there trying to get that coin. And he was
including myself. We were there and it was behind two gates, two fences when we were there. So I'm glad somebody got that. That's really cool. So Mark was down there, so that was pretty cool. I don't know what Mark was doing down there, but it was cool that he was. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome that he got it. And he was also lucky enough to get tickets to the Buffalo Bills versus Texans in Houston this Thursday. So he's pretty excited about that. They're not ADA seating, but he doesn't care. He's going to make it work.
Yeah, once you're in the stadium, you can either have somebody boost him to the chair or to his chair. Otherwise, who cares? You just go to where you can see. There's all kinds of concourses, all kinds of fun stuff, and you just make it work, Yeah. So nobody's gonna, like I say, just forget the rules. Just act like you own the place, and he'll be fine. Yeah. Just pull up to where pull up to where the seating is. Like somebody has the accessible seating. You pull up next to him, nobody's going to say, "Oh, you can't be here." Like you can't be here. Like people aren't that big assholes. They'll just move over and make room for him. So he's gonna have a great time, And he's been a biker long enough to know how to get his way, so he'll be fine.
Yep, we'll make it work.
That's a skill set that is definitely a biker skill set that's nice to have, and I'm glad he's getting it, and
he's figuring it out.
Yeah, because rules are not for everyone. Everything's a guideline.
Gavin is also counting the days till fall break. They have no school for a week, and of course Thanksgiving and food. So he's pretty excited about that. To have his food.
Awesome.
Yeah. He's got a lumbar MRI on the 25th. If that comes back normal, they then have to do further genetic testing and start testing his nervous system. They've never met a kid with full strength and then only having progression in his left leg. So now it's a rollout game to find out what's going on there.
Yeah, it's crazy how his works, because his left leg's not cooperating right, but he does a good job of like compensating for it. Like when he stayed with me in the hotel when we were doing the tour, and I'd pick him up and stand him up, and he it's funny how smart Gavin is. He figures out how to use his right leg to lock his left leg to still stand on on the one leg like that. So I don't know, pretty impressive, but I hope they figure it out, because the DMD causes enough bullshit. You don't need nerve damage to make it where he has all the muscle still to walk, which is amazing. It's just the nerve issues are why he can't use that leg. And it just that's just kind of a bummer, you gotta add that to it.
He's a little flamingo. Yeah, that sounds like it if he's on one leg.
That's awesome.
That's what I got for news.
Perfect. That's all I got. I don't know if any comments I need to answer. Otherwise, I'm glad to be back. It's good to see everybody. So I'm anxious to get caught up, anxious to do everything and be good to go. But right now I'm just anxious to get home. Everything else will follow after that. So it's all good. So with that, I think I'm out. You good?
Good.
All righty. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
If I can get it to end, I'm not even sure.